So what's the latest on that?
And the president gave a very frank assessment. I don't know, and there really is no telling how long the Ukrainian military can hold out against the superior Russian forces. They may have been slowed down. They may not have counted on a convoy that's been menacing Kyiv from the north for several days, stalling as it has. But still, eventually, the Russians are going to make inroads, as they have, it seems today, taking Kherson, the strategic port city in the southeastern part of the country, now seemingly under Russian control, even though the local mayor says he's still there to help the city run. He's taking orders from Russian troops. And they are also bombarding Mariupol, another strategic port city, in a seeming effort to cut off the country from its access to the Black Sea. They've been bombarding Kharkiv, and we've heard from local officials that a number of private homes have been damaged or destroyed, so civilians are coming under intense assault, and it's causing the fastest migration that the United Nations can remember in recent history. 1 million people in 1 week's time have crossed an international border.
And Elizabeth, French President Emmanuel Macron had this lengthy phone call with Putin today, and a government source there says that he now thinks the worst is yet to come. So do we know anything else about that call and why Macron said that?
Not a promising message, Diane, from French President Emmanuel Macron. We know that this call lasted an hour and a half. A source, as you say, tells us that he expected the worst is yet to come after that conversation, specifically warning about the risk that this conflict spreads beyond Ukraine. President Putin, the French government says, is repeating his claims for justifying this attack. And I've got to say, Diane, looking at the readout from the Kremlin, it's almost like it was an entirely separate phone call. The Kremlin said that the Russian armed forces are doing everything possible to preserve the lives of peaceful citizens. They say that is what President Putin told President Macron. Clearly a very different message than what Aaron is describing there on the ground.
And Aaron, there's also a second round of peace talks underway between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators. So what's on the agenda there, and are there any signs that this could actually produce results?
It seems so incongruous to call them peace talks, given what we've been witnessing on the ground here across different cities in Ukraine. But the groups are meeting in Belarus with hopes of working something out, though there really isn't any common ground on which to build. The Russians insist they want to demilitarize Ukraine. That sounds like they want to pledge that Ukraine will not join NATO. And the Ukrainians say they're not going to capitulate to that demand. They want a ceasefire, or at the very least, they want to open up some humanitarian corridors to get badly needed aid into the eastern part of the country.
And Elizabeth, Russia's State Space Corporation announced that it will suspend exports of Russian-made rocket engines to the United States. And the U.S. and Russia have partnered on space exploration for decades now. And there are even Russian and American astronauts working together on the International Space Station right now. So how is this conflict affecting that aspect of the relationship?
Well, Diane, this is no doubt an eerie parallel to the Cold War here. And this statement from Russian State Space Agency was blunt, saying that let the U.S. fly on something else. We are going to be freezing out our shipments. Now, a few days ago, NASA had said that the export